Well, I'm back. I it's been a hot minute, and I actually recorded like three whole videos while I was gone that are never going to see the light of day. But I'm here. I'm back. um, yeah, today's video is going to be just like a tier list video. Based off of the movies I saw last year, the horror movies I saw last year, which actually weren't a lot, surprisingly. I don't know why either, but I missed a lot of movies apparently. But yeah, so it's just gonna basically be me going through that, but I wanted to chat with you guys first. I'll put a timestamp down below if you want to just skip straight to the tier list. But I just wanted to chat for a minute before we got started. Sorry about that. My cat is not used to me recording, and she saw me get up and start setting everything up, and she thinks it's party time now. So her idea is to jump into the closet and knock all of my stuff down. So I had to go take care of that, and now she's back out here with me. I don't know. Cats are interesting, man. But yeah, I wanted to talk with you guys for a little bit because there's going to be some changes going forward on this channel. Um, and I want to explain why there's going to be changes because, yeah, I'm getting slowly getting back into things. First of all, where have I been? Um, where have I been? Here, really, at home, working. No, things got really crazy towards the end of the year between the holidays, work, and all that stuff. And then, like, I also just wasn't feeling great, like, physically and stuff like that. And I'm just, like, I'm working on that, like, health stuff. And so, that was fun. That was fun not feeling great during the holidays. But I'm starting to come back to feeling like a normal human and wanting to do this. But the main reason I was gone was lack of inspiration. And I want to talk a little bit more about why that is, why I had lack of inspiration. So, um last year I put out quite a bit of videos, not as many as I hoped. I hoped I would get at least two a month out. That didn't really work, especially towards the end of the year. It kind of fell by the wayside. And I feel like it does that every year. And I'm hoping this year, knock on wood, it doesn't do it this year. Because I really want to try to be not consistent, but we'll get to the schedule later. Um, I realized when I was recording one of my second to last video that I was working on, I realized that like reviewing in this format, the format I was doing before, isn't necessarily for me. I was trying to come at it from a standpoint of somebody who isn't really a movie buff. I watch a lot of movies, but I'm not like, I've never worked in the industry. I don't have a lot of insider knowledge. I'm not like, an industry person. Like, I can tell when I like something and when I don't like something. And the problem is I'm not hard to please. I like a lot of things. And it gets to a point where I'm just like, okay, all of my reviews are just me rambling, and I just don't feel like that is entertaining. And I realized that a lot of the content I was taking in was a lot more like video essays, talking about impact of certain movies, talking about why a movie works, why it doesn't, why a scene works, why it doesn't. And I decided I wanted to do more of that going forward. So my videos would be a little bit more scripted, a little bit more polished. Some of the videos on my channel have that I'm the proudest of are the videos where I had like scripts and I had things planned out. Like, I'm really proud of the video I did on The Substance. I'm really proud of the video I did on the X trilogy. I'm proud of the mouth washing video, despite the fact that my footage went to hell. And I had to use somebody else's footage. Um, but overall, like, those are the ones that I'm the most proud of out of everything. And I feel like this is like, like the way I've been doing things just hasn't been it for me. So going forward, I'm going to be changing with that. I am going to be making a change. The second thing you guys probably noticed, there's a name change to the channel. Since I'm not really technically doing critiques anymore, I didn't really feel like Creepy Critiques was a name I could go forward on. I felt like that just didn't fit the name, like the channel anymore, like what's going to be going forward, like how it's going to be. And I decided to change it. So my friends in this group chat that I'm in, because um I can't I a long story short, I needed to create a new Instagram for a band that I'm a fan of, and I couldn't think of anything to use, so I just used like Spooky and then like the band's name. And uh, everybody in this group chat, because we were interacting via Instagram and stuff, they all call me Spooky, which is interesting. So like that's like they know my name is Shay, but they call me Spooky. They call me by my handle, my Instagram handle. So I decided I was going to name this Spooky's Haven. So this is my little haven of um you know, me doing stuff that I enjoy doing, me putting stuff out that I like. And there's gonna be quite a bit of changes going forward with that. So there's gonna be more scripted videos, more videos about specific things in movies or specific movies, more videos about my experiences with certain horror movies. It's all still going to be horror based, but it's not going to be like before where I was sitting there like, oh yeah, and this movie was really good and that movie was really good. So yeah, we're Spooky's Haven now. I'm Spooky's Haven. This is, you know, my little corner. And the other thing is, I'm sure you probably see this pile of stuffed animals in the corner. Um I'm trying to figure out a setup. I have to buy a new desk. Well, I bought a new desk, but I had to buy a new desk because my desk is falling apart. I've had this desk for a long time and it's just time to go. It's survived several moves. It's time for it to go. So, I got a new desk and I'm hoping that setup will be a little bit better because if you could see this setup right now, there's just wires everywhere. It's chaotic. And I feel like if I move, I'm going to bump something and then just ruin the whole video. So I'm hoping that whatever I get, I can have a like a better and maybe even more permanent setup. And then I'm also going to like, I got these lights back here. My other lights blew out. The other, you know how I had those lights, the same thing, they blew out. But these lights I really like because I can change them based on the season. So they have like Christmas, they have Halloween, they even have Easter. So maybe I'll have them colored for Easter. I don't know yet. I thought that was really cool when I bought them. I actually bought them for my Christmas tree. And when I saw that it actually had a Christmas mode, I was like, what? It has modes for everything. So I'm definitely going to be utilizing that in the future. And I'm still getting my room organized from that. So yeah, there's a mess right now just because the desk is coming in a couple of days and I got to get everything out and my cat found something to play with over there. I'm like, what the heck is she playing? Oh, she's playing with the bag for my wig. Of course she is. Um so yeah, so I'm going to be hopefully having a better setup, hopefully you know, something more permanent and, you know, go from there. I'm really excited to get that started. So yeah, that's the changes that are that is happening. I'm also not going to really talk about theme parks all that much. I mean, I probably will still talk about Halloween Horror Nights. There's a few horror themed rides that I do want to get into. I want to talk about the history of them. So there's a few of those. But I don't know when I'm gonna get into that yet. I figured my first video back was actually supposed to be like sort of a essay style video about the ending of Stranger Things, but I can't be bothered now. I just can't. And if you want to know my opinion, I did enjoy it. I'm in the very minor sector that enjoyed it. I don't really see what the issue was with it. I think a lot of people expected one thing and got another. But then I also heard that the Duffer Brothers said that they didn't really put any effort into the script. So, yeah, that kind of soured me a little bit. I'm like, you know, thank you for saying that out loud to everybody and giving them justification for not liking the ending when the ending was perfectly fine in my opinion. So now I look like I have egg on my face because you guys are like, we didn't even try with this. So I'm kind of pissed at the Duffer Brothers and I'm kind of pissed at Stranger Things right now. And I'm like, you know what? I'm glad it's over. I don't even know if I'm going to return to that universe right anytime soon. All right, so those are the updates that I have going forward for this channel. The next video is probably going to be a lot nicer than this one is. Just bear with me today. Just bear with me. Today is just going to be a tier list. We're just going to take it easy. And it's not going to be a long one, hopefully. I'm going to try not to yap too much about these movies. Some of these movies I did do videos about on my channel. Some of these movies I didn't. Most of these movies I don't think I did. But yeah, let's talk about these movies. So The Conjuring Last Rites was incredibly just boring. It was just uneventful. I didn't feel like much happened in it. It's the same old tricks that they do in every single movie, the stuff that you expect to see them do. Um, and the ending was just so corny and cheesy, and I really hope that this is the last movie. They don't pull a like Halloween and decide, hey, the last movie didn't go over well with people, so we're gonna just like make another one or something like that. Well, they're doing a TV show of that too, but I believe they're supposed to be doing a Conjuring TV show, and I'm just like, what for? Who's asking for this? And if you are asking for this, why? you know. But yeah, F tier movie for me for that one. So, if I'm like completely honest, when I first heard about this movie, I was really, really excited for it. I thought it was, creepy looking. And of course, I always enjoy horror movies where black people are the lead because we don't have enough of those. Um, However, without spoiling this movie too much, well, I guess this is spoiling this movie. You know what? I don't even want you to watch this. And the ending of the movie, like, there was a few people I saw that were complaining about it, saying that it was glorifying, making a very permanent choice in your life. Um, I didn't really feel that because it's left ambiguous whether the mom did do that or not. um yeah, it's like basically the Babadook did it first and the Babadook did it better. The woman in the yard wasn't even scary. Like when they finally revealed what she looked like, she was beautiful. Like I was like, oh my god, she's gorgeous. Like she's so pretty. Like I was expecting something grotesque and horrifying, and then like she takes her veil off and she looks like Grace Jones. So I was just like, oh, okay. I thought she would be like something really scary, but instead she's like this pretty woman, tall pretty woman. So I don't know. It wasn't good, and it wasn't for me personally. Wasn't a fan of it. Let me explain. So I did a video on Final Destination, the whole series. I'll leave the link in the description if you want to watch it. But I did watch every single movie in 2 days, and the reason it took me 2 days to watch every single movie was because I didn't want to watch every single movie in one day. And also, I had to work. Yeah, I watched every single movie in 2 days, and that's including Bloodlines. I went to the theater and saw Bloodlines literally right after I finished Final Destination 5. I went to the theater and saw Final Destination Bloodlines. So it was like boom, boom. Like there no breathing room between the two really. And the reason I put it up at B tier, it's not a good movie by any stretch of the imagination. And I think I said this in my video about Final Destination that none of them are really good movies, but I have to give them kudos for being the only franchise and the only movies that scare me. This movie was the only movie that terrified me this year. And it's not because there's a monster or whatever. It's just because as somebody with extreme anxiety, this movie is like what my brain feels like. Especially when I get into those ruminating thoughts where I'm like, what if we were on a roller coaster and this happened and that happened? Like that's what that movie does. It paints it out for me. Like those things you think about, those thoughts that you have that really scare you. How about we show you what they would look like? The opening of this movie was terrifying. I'm scared. Like I'm scared of heights. So just the fact that they went up into that tower scared me. And then when the glass clap, I can't listen to Shout anymore without picturing that scene. So this movie scared me. Was one of the scariest movies this year that I saw, and I know people are gonna laugh at that because it wasn't a good movie, and that's by no stretch of like the imagination am I trying to say this was a good movie or that it was like on like the next level. It was a next level movie. Um, it was just scary to me because everything about Final Destination is anxiety inducing. So, not exactly a franchise I love, because A, the movies are usually bad, and B, the scenarios are very anxiety inducing. And of course, I have to give this movie like props because it was Tony Todd's last project before he passed away. And that was the main reason I wanted to see this movie because I love Tony Todd and I was very sad about his passing, very sad to hear that he had been sick. So, I had to see this movie and it was actually probably one of my favorite moments in horror was seeing him for the last time and hearing his last words in the franchise, and just knowing, it kind of was prolific because he died after that. So, yeah, Final Destination Bloodlines wasn't a great movie, but it actually scared me. So I guess B tier this year. So, I was really excited for this movie because if you've watched my Yellow Jackets reviews, I'm a huge Sophie Thatcher fan. I love, love, love her. I think she's incredible. Anything that she's in, I'm like, yes, queen, get it. I love her. Like, I just love her vibe about it, like, and everything. Um, I wanted to see this movie because I thought that it looked really sinister, and it is a very unsettling premise. The idea of being under someone else's control in that sense, even though that's what she's made for. The movie is not scary, and I think it knows that it's not scary. Because when you watch it, it very much leans into the dark comedy, but it's not scary. It's not scary. I think the scariest part was seeing Jack Quaid on top of her. That was probably the scariest part of the whole movie. It's not, yeah, it's not a very scary movie, and I can say, like, it was advertised as a horror movie. It was like they made a big deal about it being like really creepy, but it leaned way too much into the comedy factor, and but I did enjoy it. I actually really liked the movie, and the only reason I'm putting it in C is because of the fact that it wasn't scary. Which is probably going to make some of you guys mad, where I'm going to put the next movie, because the next movie is of a similar vein, but I. Now, I know, before everybody comes running over and is like, that's not a horror movie, that's not a horror movie. I know it's not scary. I know the vampires are like a third of the movie. I get it. I understand. I understand. I've seen this movie enough times by now, trust me, that I know. I get it. I understand. It is still categorized as a horror movie. It's still classified as a horror movie. And it still has horrors in it that aren't necessarily just like the visceral horror of like vampires attacking you. There's the horror of colonization. That's pretty much what it's about. But there's also a lot of joy in this movie, and there's a lot of black joy, which I loved. And I did a video about this one too, and I kind of rambled about it, and I'm gonna do another video about this at some point, because I'm gonna like write a dissertation about this, because I have a lot to say, and I think when I made the video I could not articulate it well, so I'm gonna do it over. Basically, this movie was one of my favorite movies of 2025, just across all genres. The music was fantastic, the acting was mind-blowing, it felt raw, it felt real, it was an original-ish story. Every single moment in the movie like felt just like tense. It's one of the first times, I will say, that people like hyped up a movie that I went to go see in theaters, and I didn't leave even feeling a slight bit of disappointment. Like, every time some people, like a lot of people, are hyping up a movie saying, you gotta go see it, you gotta go see it, it's the best movie ever made, whatever, or it's so great, it's so this, so that, I usually leave the theater. Like, even the Barbie movie. I love the Barbie movie, one of my favorite movies of 2023. But I was expecting to go and see that movie and have like a visceral emotional reaction, and I didn't. I loved it. I thought it was fun, but everyone was making it out to be like this life-changing movie, and I was like, I sat down and I watched it. I was like, I mean, yeah, I see why you guys cried, but it didn't hit me the same way. Like, I don't know. It just, like, I was more empowered and excited when I left. But yeah, I definitely left the theater the first time I saw Sinners going, I cannot stop thinking about this movie. And I saw it in theaters 3 times, and then I bought it on streaming, and then I got it for my birthday on Blu-ray. So it's safe to say this movie, it doesn't matter that it wasn't necessarily a horror movie despite being advertised and categorized as a horror movie. I can't put it any lower than S tier. I can't. Like, it physically in me, I cannot. I can't do it. So, unfortunately, despite the fact that, yes, Companion was advertised as a horror movie, but leaned more into the comedy than the horror, and Sinners was advertised as a horror movie and leaned more into, like, the drama than the horror, I can't put it in C tier for that. I can't. I'm sorry. Ryan Coogler ate with that movie. Okay, so Him was a football horror movie, which I am always for horror movies that branch out of like the norm. And honestly, this was a movie that when I first heard about the premise, I actually really thought it sounded pretty good because it was a movie about, I will look it up and put the name here because I can't remember the name right now and I don't want to deviate much further because I had to deviate because of my cat. But the brain injuries that athletes can, especially in football, get from, the like tackling each other. Football, in my opinion, is one of the scariest sports that's out there, and I don't necessarily care for it. That's a hot take. I think it's scary, and I don't see the purpose behind why anybody would want to play or watch other people do that to each other. But then again, I'm wearing a freaking WWE shirt. Not because I'm a WWE fan though, but because this shirt is sick. But I know someone's gonna see that and be like, "But you watch wrestling?" I don't watch wrestling. I just got this shirt because it looked really sick. But anyways, yeah. I was hoping that this movie would lean more into the territory of, is everything real or not? Is this a fabrication of his imagination, or not his imagination, a fabrication of his head injury, or is this actually happening? And the movie left no room for ambiguity. It was really funny because I was talking to my brother, and he said that everybody he was watching review this movie said that there was no supernatural or paranormal aspect in it. And I'm like, dude, literally the entire ending of the movie. Like, did you guys leave before the movie ended? Because if you watch the ending of the movie, it's very clear what's going on here. And just look at the freaking, I'll put the poster up here. Look at the poster. Tell me that that's not going to go in, you know which way this movie was going. And I kind of hoped that even if they introduced the demonic possession thing, even if they introduced that it would have been more like, was this real or was this all in his head because of the head injury? And they didn't really do that. They just made it kind of like, okay, yeah, this is real. This is actually happening. It was dumb. It was dumb. I've heard a lot of people say this is The Substance for men, but The Substance actually had, not to be punny, but substance. And this movie had none. This movie had none. Maybe it's because I don't like football. Maybe it's because I'm not a guy and I've never played football before. Maybe it's any of those things, but I really just don't feel like that was a good movie all that much. However, Marlon Wayans, he did chew the scenery in that movie. He was very, very creepy, and I would love to see him play more villain roles. He did a great job. He was very unsettling, and there were even some moments in the movie where, like, I liked him. Like, I genuinely liked his character, because it was like, almost like, is this really him? Is this really, or is this how this guy is seeing him? Is this really him, or is this like what he's seeing in his head? And there's like one scene where he does like a little like speech to him, like in the sauna, and I thought that it was like a really nice speech, and but he still was crazy in the end. I do think I want to rewatch it at some point and see how I feel, because I got to be honest with you, there's some movies we're about to get to that I didn't get the chance to get the full impact of the movie, because when I was watching it with the people that I was watching it with, there was too much going on around us. We're watching these things at home, and like, people are talking, and they're talking about other things, and they're getting up and they're walking around and they're wanting to go outside and do this. So it got distracting after a while. I couldn't focus on the movie. So this is definitely like one that I want to revisit, because I love a good shark movie. And the premise of this seemed really cool. Like a serial killer who uses sharks as his like, weapon, essentially. I thought that was really cool, but I didn't really get the full effect of it, because again, I was watching it through like other people getting up and leaving the room, and all that stuff, and just not being like invested in it, which, like, even if a movie is bad, I try to give it its fair shake. That's why, like, I sat and I watched that stupid tarot movie Even if a movie's bad, I try to give it its fair shake. So I tried to do that with this, and I really just couldn't like get into it. So eventually, I will rewatch this, but as of right now, it's going to be in the C tier. I do think it's a great premise, having a serial killer that uses sharks as his weapon, and of course, Jai Courtney's in it. He's awesome. He's unhinged. So we'll see what happens going forward. Okay, so without getting into it too much, because I do have a video planned to talk about this, I know I've mentioned it on my channel multiple times. I hate the movie Barbarian. I stand by that. I have don't come at me and say I need to rewatch it. I have rewatched that movie multiple times just to see if I could find anything I liked about it. I don't. I can't find anything. I will make a video discussing the reasons why that movie bothers me. Is one of those movies that I'm just like, mm. um that being said, I was anxious about this movie because when Weapons was coming out, everyone was like, pack it in. This is the best horror movie of 2025. It's the scariest movie. It's amazing. It's this. So as soon as I saw all that, I was like, this is the same shit they did with Barbarian. And I paid money and I sat in that theater and I watched the movie and I was just mad the whole time because I was like, y'all really came out here and told me this was the greatest movie you've ever seen and it was awful. I don't care. Like, for me, it was awful. I'll explain why in that video. So I was very, very afraid. My best friend went to go see it in theaters. She said she really liked the movie and she said it wasn't the best horror movie of 2025, but she said it was really good. So I did. It was on HBO Max, so I did watch it. And I actually really liked the movie. I think what I like about the movie, first of all, I think Zach Cregger's story writing got better. I know a lot of people complain in this movie with this movie about the jumping of storylines, but everything was cohesive. His writing got better, and I couldn't find as many plot holes as I did with Barbarian, which I will talk about. I couldn't find as many unbelievable plot holes in Weapons. Like, Weapons, I was like able to suspend my disbelief with. Yeah, so I think he also leaned a little bit more into the comedy with this. Like, the ending of this movie is ridiculous. I was laughing my ass off at the end of this movie. I liked this movie a lot. It's definitely one that's going to be on my rewatch list. It was fun. It had really good creepy moments, really good scares. The Void is being really bad tonight. She wants attention so badly. And the thing is that's funny is I've been with her, like, I was gone for a few hours and then I came home and I've been with her all day, like literally just chilling, playing with her. And now I get up to record and she's like, you're not paying attention to me. You're not paying attention to me. Why aren't you looking at me right now, Mom? Why aren't you perceiving me? God. So yeah, Weapons, good movie. Definitely recommend it to anybody who hasn't seen it yet. So I was really excited for this movie because it was the first time that the Hell House franchise was deviating away from the found footage motif. That being said, this movie was garbage. It was so bad. And it makes me so sad to say that because Hell House LLC is one of my favorite franchises. That's actually the video I launched my channel with, was the Hell House LLC franchise. I love all 4 movies. I think the third movie was my least favorite till this one came out. This one is just, like, the third movie is just above this one. Oh, this movie, and the thing is about this movie is that there are so many great scares. Like, there were so many moments, and that's the one thing I will give the director. He knows how to set up really good scares, and I actually thought that him deviating away from the found footage format, he still was able to put scares in where it wasn't a jump scare, and I loved that absolutely. There was like 2 parts that I like that come to mind every time I think about this movie. There's one part where the main character is sleeping and you see she has her bedroom door and her closet door open because she's a psychopath apparently, and she gets up because she hears something, and then when she sits up, you're looking at her closet door because it's right in frame, but then when the camera pans out, he's actually in the bedroom doorway, and there's just no noise, no nothing, and if you're not looking at him, you won't catch him. And he's also standing with his back to the door too, so that was creepy. And then there's another part because in the 4th movie there was what you call it, the two girls that were together, they died in that house, the Carmichael house. um this one girl, one woman, and this guy, I don't even remember these characters like at all, but they go to stay at the Carmichael house to try to like exorcise this demon. I don't know, the story is like gone beyond. It's gone beyond. um but the one girl, I think her name was Jessica or Jess, I don't know, I might be wrong, or Rebecca, I think it might have been Rebecca actually. She was one of the great scares in the fourth movie was a part where she was doing a Zoom call with her boss, showing off real estate photos, like property photos, and then the photos were of the house, and then the photos started showing her. Well, they kind of play on that. They have her sitting there talking, and then she's telling the girl that's in the house like, oh, you're gonna die soon. And then the priest, it was a priest, the priest tells the girl to leave the room and don't look at her, like turn. I knew the sirens were going to go off at some point. Don't look at her, just turn your back away from her. And she does, and when she does, you hear like a crack, and I'm like, oh god. And it's agonizingly slow as she starts walking out of the room, and as she's walking out of the room, you see like kind of, it's in frame but it's not in focus, Rebecca's head is bent backwards and she's like smiling at her. Oh, it was so scary. Like great scares in that movie. It's just the acting was really bad. No offense to the people that were acting in it. I'm sure they did the best they could. I think a lot of these people were also in the found footage movies, so maybe it's just the jump from going from like the realism to not realism. And the story's just lost me now. The story's just completely lost to me. um I want to know what's going on, but at the same time I'm like, you guys don't need to explain anything to me any more than you already have tried. So yeah, it pains me to put a movie that from a, that was really creepy. I heard my cat right behind me meowing, but she's over there. That's scary. I don't like that. That, you throwing your voice now, Void? She's throwing her voice apparently. Yeah, so it pains me to do that from a franchise that I love so much. The concept of that movie is so amazing. The execution is pretty decent. Um, it's just kind of hard it's kind of hard to be like understand what's going on in the movie, like understand the story fully, what's going on. Like I kind of had to like lock in at one point to get it, because again, you're getting the movie kind of from a dog's point of view, so like stuff is like happening and you're like, what is going on, what is he, he's seeing, what is he experiencing. It's a supernatural movie. I know some people thought this was going to be a home invasion movie. It's not. It's a supernatural movie. And yeah, the dog Indy won an award, and that's why I wanted to watch it. And I will say that he was amazing. Like, for a movie where it's being told from an animal's point of view, where they're not doing the whole talking animal thing like they normally do. For a movie that's being told in that point of view, for me to feel this dog's emotions was just awesome. So I don't know what they did. They must have bribed him with some top tier treats. But Indy is a great actor, and I hope that he is happy and proud of himself for winning this award, because he deserves it. He did a good job. He did a very good job. He's a good boy. I had to say it. I'm sorry. So again, this is a movie much like Dangerous Animals, where I was watching it with other people who were not invested in the film, and basically, like from the time the movie started, I couldn't really get into the movie. I can't even tell you much of what happened in the movie. Like I remember there's a part where there's like somebody ripping their skin off, and that's like it. Like I don't really know what happened. I definitely want to rewatch this one on my own and see if I change my opinion, because right now I'm not really that fond of it. And it doesn't surprise me much because I wasn't crazy about Talk to Me. I know, again, I'm in the minority camp. I did like the movie. Okay, I didn't hate the movie. I just didn't find it to be scary. I found it to be incredibly depressing and sad because it was a movie about addiction. Like, that's what it was. It was a movie about addiction, and it was very sad and very heartbreaking, like of a movie. But this one, I couldn't get into it, and I kind of um really wanted to try this one and get into it because I know it's a favorite of a lot of people. A lot of horror channels, a lot of horror podcasts love this movie, bring her back. So I will try to rewatch it and see how I feel about it. And yeah, because right now I don't really have great feelings about it. Okay, okay. Until Dawn is not like the game. I understand that. I get it. I know a lot of people really, really hate this movie. And so for me to put it so high up, I'm sure that people are like, wow, you have awful taste in horror movies. I did not hate this movie. I took the movie for what it was. I knew going in that I wasn't getting the game. I knew that going in, so that wasn't a surprise. It didn't catch me off guard. I thought the writing was really good. I thought the whole looping timeline thing was really good. I do wish that they would have had time to expand on the lore a little bit more because it definitely seemed like they were trying to connect the lore from the game to the lore from the movie. Um, but I didn't hate the movie. I didn't hate the movie. A lot of people really hate the movie. I thought it was fun. I thought it was enjoyable. And I think if you watched the movie and you already knew that it wasn't going to be like the game and you hated it, like you kind of just wasted your time. You just shouldn't have watched it. Like, did you think that they were just like the trailer was fake and they were lying and then it was suddenly going to be like the game when you like sat down to watch it? I don't know. I don't know what y'all were, but personally, I enjoyed the movie. It was fun. I gotta be honest. I'm not a fan of this franchise. I did watch 28 Days and 28 Weeks after, before when they announced this movie. I hadn't seen 28 Days Later. I hadn't seen 28 Days Later in like well over a decade at that point. So it was very like just muddled in my mind. I think it's a zombie movie. This one I enjoyed. I thought that especially the stuff with the kid's mom at the end was really, really heartbreaking. I don't know why people hate this one so much. I was actually really shocked when I saw that everybody hated this movie, because I went in thinking I wasn't going to like it. I was really just going because I had a friend that wanted to go see it because Jack O'Connell's in the franchise now. But I was like, I don't care about this movie. And I actually was shocked how much I liked it. I mean, I actually got teary eyed at the end. I actually got teary eyed. So I don't know why people didn't like this movie. I'm I'm surprised, but I liked it. I thought it was good, and that's coming from somebody who's not a really big fan of zombie movies because I think like they're usually pretty boring. So together was I was gonna do a video. Cat just got the zoomies randomly. I was gonna do a video about the movie after I watched it, but I decided not to, because the idea of looking stuff up for this movie makes me nauseous. And it's not so much the body horror, it's like the thought of being trapped, stuck to your partner for like just merging with your partner. Um, I loved this movie. I thought this movie was extremely well written. Um, the main plot being about how these two people shouldn't be together, but now they're being forced to be together physically. And then on top of that, the like the subplot of the weird cultish stuff, and there's just like weird occult stuff happening. All of that was really good. It was all well done. They could not have picked a better couple, in my opinion. Dave Franco and Allison Brie are just both like. First of all, they're both gorgeous. Yeah, it was a very so they got a great couple for this. They're both good with the comedic moments, and there were quite a bit of comedic moments in this movie. I was shocked that it was more funny than scary than or any like overall, but this was probably for me one of the scariest movies I saw this year, and it wasn't because of like the body horror or the movie itself. It was more the thought of it was more watching their relationship and the the fact that they really just should not have been together. These two people should not have been together, and now they're physically forced to be together. And yeah, it is bad, and the molding, the melding together part of the movie. Let's just say the Spice Girls are ruined for me. To Become One, I cannot listen to that song anymore because of that. No, but I did really like this movie. Very good movie, very well written, very well acted, and very scary because I could not imagine being fused to any of my exes. That would be terrifying. Now, some may argue this isn't a horror movie because, it's not really all that scary. Again, calling it not. I'm just really happy about the gothic horror renaissance that we're going through right now. I mean, we've got next month is Dracula Love, I think it's like Love Never Dies or something, which I am so stoked for. I know it has bad reviews right now because it was released in France last year, but I'm so stoked for that Dracula movie. I'm like, I don't care. I love the gothic horror, like, eternal, like, love. I just love that. I love, like, that intensity. This movie was fantastic. Guillermo del Toro always eats. Well, not always. There's sometimes where he doesn't eat, but he eats most of the time. But he definitely ate with this movie. Oscar Isaac is always great. Oscar Isaac is always great, but I was kind of worried about Jacob Elordi because the only place I know Jacob Elordi from is The Kissing Booth. Yeah, that's all I know him from. I've never seen Euphoria, and I never saw Saltburn. I know he's in that movie, so I had no idea if this man was going to have the chops to pull off Frankenstein's monster, the creature, whatever you want to call him. Wow, wow. That's all I can say. I don't know how. I mean, I do want to see The Bride that's coming out later on this year. I do want to see that movie because I'm interested in the Bride of Frankenstein's point of view story. But I don't know how I'm going to feel about Christian Bale as the creature. I just don't know because Jacob Elordi did such a good job. And I mean, like, I don't want to see anybody else play the creature now. Like, he is the creature to me. Like, he is. He's fantastic in that movie. He is just such a good actor. He really put his whole heart and soul into it, and yeah, he made that such a wonderful movie to watch. I love it. I love that movie. I love the opulence. I love the theatrics. I love it so much. It's all great to me. So there you have it. That is my 2025 movies tier list. I gotta be honest, yeah, I didn't see a lot of movies this year, this past year. There's a lot I missed. There's a lot that I missed that was on streaming that I could have just watched that I just hadn't gotten around to yet. I'm terrible. I end up just sticking to watching the same few things, but it's okay. This year, we're gonna watch whatever we want to watch whenever we want to watch it. Am I right, fellas? I'm just kidding. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you got this far, I cannot promise that there's going to be consistent uploads, like I'm going to be uploading every month or whatever, or every week. I'm going to be more concerned about quality over quantity. So hopefully going forward we can have some fun and it won't be as chaotic. This will be the last chaotic video, but I hope you guys are having a semi decent start to the year. I hope that you guys are taking care of yourselves. You're taking care of the people around you. You're showing people the love that you need to show them. And I hope that you are enjoying life as best as you can in the crazy world we live in right now. But I'm going to get out of here because my cat has been really antsy this entire video, and that's why it's taken me an hour to record this. Not justifiable. My cat's been really antsy. And also, I am thirsty, so I'm gonna go get a drink. But yeah, you guys stay safe, and I will see you all in the next video.